Hey, what's up guys? I'm Mr. Chris with infotainment.com. Today I am in a Ram DT 1500. This is model years 19 plus. I'm going to be doing a full digital cluster upgrade in this truck. A while back we dropped a teaser video on our social media pages and you guys seemed to really take to it. You guys wanted to see this come to market. So I'm going to show you guys how to get this installed. All right, where we're going to start is actually we have to remove this cluster bezel. So in order to do that, I'm going to pull the steering wheel out and down. That'll give me the most room to work with here. And I just have a little panel tool. I'm going to start at the top seam of this bezel, stick my panel tool in there and then pop it downwards. There's 3 clips along the top here. Once you get that down, you can pull the rest straight back. Like that. You just got some clips all the way around it. We'll set that aside. And then on the far left hand side here, you have a little panel. This thing pops back also and slides down. So basically there's 2 retaining clips on the bottom. So don't pry from the top, pry from the bottom. And then you can just slide it down and out of that little slot that it's in. All right, next up I have my headlight switch bezel. This thing just pops out also, just some clips holding that in. You don't have to take this off. You can kind of let that dangle by the wire. And then right below that, you have your knee bolster. And you don't have to completely remove this either. You just want to pop the clips free. And the end goal is to get to these 4 screws. There's 2 on the other side as well. So you can pop this whole piece free. This is one giant boot that goes around your steering column. All right, on the right side of our steering column, we have the push to start button as well as your shifter bezel. We have to pull these out, but they're lipped behind the radio bezel here. So in order to get these out, we're going to pull the radio out. In order to do that, you have a little rubber kind of mat that goes down here, and when you pull that mat up, it's going to expose 2 7mm screws. 1 and 2. And once you got those out, there's nothing else holding this radio in but some clips going all the way around it. What I like to do is grab the top edge of the radio kind of with my hand in the pocket and just yank towards the rear. It's gonna sound scary, but that's the way these come out. All right, so I got our radio just kind of supported with the harnesses and I threw a couple of rags underneath there so I don't damage the radio or the dash. And we don't have to unplug it or anything. We just have to move it aside just so we can access these 2 panels. Now, the top one here is similar to the one on the left side of the column where you want to pop it out from the bottom first and then slide down. And then right below that, this panel also just pops to the rear. And now we have full access to all the screws that are holding on this steering column boot. All right, now we can pop this whole boot to the rear, a couple of retaining clips, and we'll just pull this straight back. And that gives us access to the 2 screws that are on the bottom here and the top 2 screws that are up here. Once we get these 4 pulled out, we can remove our cluster. All right, now I got a right angle adapter in here, but you don't necessarily need one. These screws are pretty easy to get to. Just my impact that I'm using doesn't quite fit in there. All right, from this point, we're ready to pull our cluster back and out. And on the back side, we have our connector. We can disconnect, and we won't need our original cluster, so we'll set that aside. All right, and now from here, you're gonna wanna grab your harness that's included with your upgrade. We'll get that plugged in. The other end will plug into your new cluster. And back here you have 2 wires that are separate from the main harness. This is if you have a UConnect 5 original radio from the vehicle, or if you bought our UConnect 5 upgrade for your vehicle. This is where you can utilize these 2 plugs here. This is for the navigation to get ported over into your cluster. So if you want that full navigation screen on the cluster, you're going to need this plug with our Ethernet cord that will go to the radio. So we'll get this plugged in here. And the other end we'll need to go over to our radio module. So we'll pull the radio module out, get this plugged in, and we can move forward with the installation. All right, to remove the radio, you just have 4 7mm screws or Phillips screws that we have to remove. Once those are out, I'm just going to pull this radio down. I don't have to unplug anything. I'm actually going to tilt it forward so you can kind of see. This is that connector that we're looking for right here. So I'm going to run that harness over and get it plugged in. All right, so I got the end here. I'm just going to run it right behind our dash here and pull it through. And I'll run it back here. And then we can get that plugged into the radio. There we go. And that's all we need to do. I'll get our radio module mounted back in there. All right, so we got both of our connectors plugged in. Before we grab our cluster and plug that in, I'm gonna make sure this flap is in the open position. So you wanna press down on that little button right in the center, pull down the red flap. Now we can grab our cluster, slide this in, and as this lever goes back to its original position, it'll pull itself into the cluster and lock in. All right, on the back side of our cluster, you can see that little lever will kind of pull itself in. Now, if you have heads-up display in your truck, this is where that's going to plug into. So you would have removed it from your old cluster and plug it into the new one. If you don't, you can just disregard this. It's not going to make a difference if it's plugged in or not. All right, we'll go ahead and mount this in. All right, now we'll pop this lower knee bolster back up. And last piece is our cluster bezel. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna snap in the bottom first, and then the top, you just kind of push it down and back into where those clips are and press upwards. All right, and that's pretty much all you have to do to get your full digital cluster installed.
All right, guys, now that Chris went ahead and installed it, let's turn it on and take a look. Right away, you see the awesome new full digital cluster. You even get the backlights on the side, which just gives it a really nice techie type touch when you first start the vehicle. I'm going to go through some of the menus. You can see that it defaulted on the navigation map screen. So those of you who have the UConnect 5, the UBL or UBQ upgrade in your vehicle, you will gain GPS navigation maps right here in the digital speedometer cluster. If you do not have UConnect 5, seek us out and ask one of our advisors, and we can get you set up with that if you would like to add the GPS navigation feature. So right here on the number 1 setting, we have the analog style. If you press the right button, it will go to the digital. So it just gives you a little bit of different look and layout. Number 2 is your start-stop. Those of you who have start-stop and want to disable it, we actually have a kit for that, so check us out on that. You could also go through and look at your fuel economy, your gauge summary, oil summary, tire pressure, and now we're back at the stop-start. On the third menu here, we have the trip info. both trip A and trip B. Number 4, as I mentioned before, is your navigation. So you have to have UConnect 5 in order for that to work properly. But as you type in addresses into your GPS navigation, you will also see turn-by-turn directions right here in the cluster. On the 5th menu here is your trailer tow. If you have the trailer tire pressure system, that will be a feature here. We do offer that as an upgrade for those of you who are interested in the trailer tire TPMS. And then your trailer trip. Number 6 is going to be your audio, so whatever you're listening to on your infotainment system will show you the radio data here. Number 7 will be your stored messages. A lot of that pertains to DTCs and whatnot. This particular truck does not have that, so you're not going to see anything there. And then obviously, number 8 is the settings menu. So if you press the OK, you can customize what you want to show in all the different quadrants of the newly installed cluster. So you can go to the defaults, how it would be from the factory. You can customize it however you want. So an awesome feature here in the settings menu. And then you're back to the speedometer. So as you can see, such an awesome upgrade, very easy to install, and it just really enhances the overall tech of your Ram truck. Now remember guys, these digital speedometer clusters by infotainment.com come pre-programmed for your specific truck. So not only will we need your 17-digit VIN number, we will also need to know your existing mileage. So be sure to give us that information when you purchase it so it can be fully programmed for your exact vehicle.
All right, so there you have it. That wraps up this install. Pretty easy install. 1 to 10, you're looking at a 2, 3 at most. Basic hand tools, give yourself 30 minutes, and you can have this digital cluster installed in your truck too. Hopefully soon we'll have the compatibility expanded a little bit to include the DS and the DJ. So make sure to check out Infotainment for updates on that. As always, thank you for watching. Take care, guys.